Does Chipotle use seed oils? Well, I'm here at Chipotle. I'm gonna find out. Let's go see. How's it going?
Hi.
I was just curious which oils you cook things in, like
So the rice, we use rice bran oil.
rice bran oil in the rice,
The chicken and carne asada we use sunflower oil with.
sunflower,
Yeah. And then fajitas is also sunflower oil.
sunflower oil. Okay,
So this whole row, sunflower oil, these two are rice bran.
rice bran oil. Okay, cool. And then in the tortilla, there's canola oil in the tortilla. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll do a steak burrito. Let's do white rice.
Soccer pinto beans.
I'll skip the beans.
Any queso?
No, thank you. You're gonna do peppers?
Any mild Rima hot salsa on there?
Sure. Let's do mild.
Okay. Any sour cream or cheese?
You can do cheese.
Yeah. Is that it on the burrito?
That's it. That's fine. Yeah. Thank you. All right, guys. So, listen, I ate a lot of Chipotle when I was growing up. In terms of fast food, this is not the worst thing I've ever heard of. But as you guys heard when I was ordering, let's break it down. And just so you know, I'm going to give this burrito to somebody else. I'm not going to eat this burrito. We've got a steak burrito here from Chipotle. It's not entirely good, by my opinion. The tortilla on the outside is made from gluten, obviously. Not a fan of gluten. Probably going to damage your gut, create inflammation, cause leaky gut. There's also canola oil in the tortilla. Canola oil is a seed oil, about 25% linoleic acid. And there's a lot of problems with canola oil that I've talked about in the past. Specifically, it has a little bit of fatty acid called erucic acid in it. There's a type of oil connected with canola oil called rapeseed oil, but there's so much erucic acid in it, and erucic acid causes heart lesions. It causes cardiac myelipidosis in rats. So in Canada, they made canola oil. Canola is an acronym for Canadian oil low acid. They genetically modified rapeseed plants to be lower in erucic acid. So normal rapeseed oil is about 40% erucic acid. Canola oil is about 2% erucic acid. But I still have concerns that you're getting a fat, a monounsaturated fat called erucic acid, which is potentially harmful for mammals. So, and it's a seed oil, so it has linoleic acid, which is going to be problematic because it accumulates in all the tissues of your body, your cell membranes, your mitochondrial membranes. It appears to cause proton leak in your mitochondrial membranes. That's a technical way of saying that it interferes with your production of energy, which is bad for you in all kinds of ways. The breakdown products of linoleic acid, specifically the HODES, HODEs, and the heats from arachidonic acid are very problematic for humans. And so linoleic acid is bad for humans in a lot of ways. High-level seed oil breakdown. If you want seed oil breakdowns, I've done lots of other videos on why seed oils are harmful for humans. So interestingly, in 1989, I believe, Perrier water was pulled off the shelves of grocery stores for 10 parts per billion of benzene. But seed oils have 7 parts per million. So 7 parts per million is about 700 times greater than 10 parts per billion. And seed oils contain, canola oil specifically, contain this amount of these organic solvents. But benzene was in Perrier at 700 times less levels, and it was pulled off the shelves. So just one problem with seed oils that you can see in the production, these organic solvents that are used to clean the oils, to extract the oils from the gums of the seeds, end up in the oils. Then the oils are bleached, deodorized, sodium hydroxide, all kinds of things that are heated to very high temperatures, I think 500 degrees, causing massive amounts of damage and oxidation in these oils, even before you get them, where they end up in your food. Go ahead, do me a favor. If you hit that like and subscribe button right now, it helps me continue to make videos like this that are free, that are educational, that help you make better decisions for your life, to improve your health, to educate your friends and your family, and live better, longer lives. Hopefully you guys enjoy. So we got rice. The rice is cooked in rice bran oil. That's a seed oil. Significant amounts of linoleic acid, I believe around 40% linoleic acid in rice bran oil. Interestingly, though I'm not gonna eat this burrito, I opted for white rice versus brown rice. If you guys are torn between white rice and brown rice, remember, don't cook it in rice bran oil, and know that brown rice is gonna have a lot more arsenic and heavy metals than white rice. I've done experiments with white rice in my diet. I don't really love it. It's a grain. I'm not a huge fan of this, often moldy. But if you want a carbohydrate source, white rice is probably the least bad of the grains. It's better than wheat, better than oats in my opinion. But again, I'm not a huge fan of rice. The peppers are cooked in sunflower oil. Sunflower oil is around 50% linoleic acid. It's a lot of linoleic acid in sunflower oil. The steak, the chicken, all the meat is also cooked in sunflower oil. So you have rice bran oil in the rice, sunflower oil for the chicken, sunflower oil for the peppers, and canola oil in the tortilla. So when you're eating the whole burrito, even though there might not be a ton of sunflower oil on the peppers, or a ton of sunflower oil on the steak, or a ton of rice bran oil on the rice, or a ton of canola oil in the tortilla, when you combine them all together, you're getting a pretty significant dose of seed oils in a burrito from Chipotle. And I think these are a major driver of obesity and eventually diabetes and metabolic dysfunction in humans for a lot of reasons that are technical that I've gone into in much more detail in my podcast, but I'll break it down for you guys here for a second, one more time. Linoleic acid is an 18-carbon omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acid that accumulates in your body. You can't get rid of it. It accumulates in your cell membranes, causing problems with your metabolism, causing problems with your energy production, and eventually being broken down into oxylipins or oxalams, which are associated with all sorts of problems in humans. These are the HODs and the heats coming from linoleic acid and arachidonic acid specifically. There are multiple studies which show that the more linoleic acid you eat in seed oils, the more linoleic acid ends up in your LDL particles, in your cholesterol, in your VLDL particles from the liver. And that makes those particles more susceptible to oxidation. Oxidized LDL and Lp(a) are highly, strongly associated with cardiovascular disease, potentially causal in cardiovascular disease. You don't want any of those things. You don't want to increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. You don't want to increase your risk of diabetes. You don't want to increase your risk of dementia. You don't want to increase your risk of any sort of inflammatory or degenerative disease. So I think avoiding seed oils, things that humans would never have had evolutionarily, they're new to our diets over the last 100 years. Before that, we were eating exclusively animal fats. That's what you should be eating. I'm calling you out, Chipotle. You should get rid of seed oils for your foods. I think cooking in butter and tallow would be the best, but even olive oil would probably be a better cooking fat for your steak, for your peppers, and for your rice than rice bran oil and sunflower oil. So that's my take on Chipotle, guys. I'm gonna go find somebody outside to give this burrito to. See you in the next video.